Hello, my name's Amanda and today I'm going to show you how to make a Santa napkin and cutlery holder. I'm using Stylecraft double knit in white, red, in lipstick, black and a bit of gold or yellow. And of course I have my trusty stitch markers, small scissors, sewing up needle, needle threader and a size 4mm hook. So off we go. So first of all we need to make our slip knot. Do that however you feel comfortable. This is how I like to do mine. I've got my two fingers like that. I wrap it over twice and grab hold. I take the back loop over the front loop, take the back loop over the front loop, grab hold of the back loop and pull. Put your hook in and now we are ready to get our tension. So again, do this however you feel comfortable. This is how I like to do mine. I have my hand facing towards me. I wrap my yarn over my little finger, turn my hand the other way, wrap it over my first finger, flip my hand back and grab here. And this is where I am working from. So you'll see me doing this all the time. It's just one of those things that you need to do in crochet just to keep your tension going. So we're going to chain 26. So don't have your hook too tight. The yarn too tight on your hook there, otherwise you won't be able to get it through. This is how I like to do it. I have my hook facing downwards, I hook the yarn around, turn the hook facing towards me and pull through. That's 1. Again, facing downwards, twist it around, pull towards me, pull through 2. Again, facing downwards, hook it around, face it towards me, pull through 3. I'll do a couple more and you'll see me as well. I move my fingers up all the time. Facing down, hook it round, pull it towards you, pull through 4. Down, hook it round, pull it towards you 5. So I will meet you back when you have chained 26. Okay, so I've now chained my 26 and the key to crochet is not to make this too tight, otherwise you can't get your hook back in there. So first row we are going to, and I'm going to use English UK terms, so we are going to double crochet in the second chain from the hook. So you don't count this one that's on the hook. So that one's number 1, that one is number 2. Now if you can see, you have a couple of parts to your actual chain. You can put your hook in that top bit, which is fine, but I like to put my hook underneath both bits. If you pull it apart a bit, you can see it's got a bit in the middle as well. So if you go in there under both of them, you get a nicer, so you've got 2 V's on the top, you get a nicer chain that's not as baggy. So if you can try to do that, do so, because your end result will look better, but if not, don't panic. So I put my hook in, it's facing towards me, I'm going to grab my yarn, pull up, I've got 2 loops on my hook, turn it away from me, grab my yarn and pull through both loops. So that is our first chain here. So that is where I'm going to put my stitch marker. If you watch any of my other videos, I don't do anything without these. So our next one along is here. So again, you can see that it's got the yarn going through the middle of it, so I'm going to go under both of them, so I get 2 V's on my hook. Grab it through, pull towards you, turn it away, grab your yarn and pull through both. I always have my fingers at the bottom of the stitch that I'm working in. Again, I find that just keeps things tighter, even, steadier, however you want to call it. That's just my personal preference. So again, in the next one there, underneath both of those loops, pull your hook towards you, pull it through, you've got 2 loops on your hook, turn it away from you, grab your yarn and pull through both. Next one is there, push your hook in, grab your yarn, pull 2 loops away from you, and there we are. So I will meet you back at the end, and we should have 25 on our chain. So I'm at the end of my row. I've got 2 stitches left, so I'll just finish those off. She says sometimes it can be a bit trickier to get in. And the last one. So we should have 25 double crochets. Don't panic if you haven't. Say it doesn't matter if it's a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. So that's what your first row looks like. Okay, so now we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. So always turn it to the same side. It doesn't matter which side. I always turn mine to the left. Okay, so we're going to do another row exactly the same in white. So get your tension back going. So our first stitch is going to go right there in that big hole. So again, push your hook in, pull up a loop, and that is our first double crochet of this row, and in there goes our other stitch marker. So this is our next one. So it goes in there, just the same stitch as before. Your next one is here. So we're just double crocheting, oops, lost my hook, all the way down. So our next hole is there. So this time you're catching both. If you put your hook in and then turn it that way, you can see you've got 2 V's on the top, and that's what you need to catch. So again, our next one is there. So I'll meet you back at the end when you've got a couple of stitches left. Okay, so I've got 2 stitches left, that one and this one, and you know that's your last one because that's where your stitch marker is. If you don't use them, things can go a little wonky, shall we say. So I would never crochet without them. Top tip. So I'm going to just put my second to last one in there, and then we are going to change colours to red on this one. So if you're quite comfortable that you know where you're going, you can take your stitch marker out. If you're not, you can put it in, put your hook in while your stitch marker is still there, then you definitely know you're going in the right place, whichever you prefer. So this time we're going to put our hook in, pull up 1 loop and stop, and now we're going to change colour. So grab your red, leave a tail, and you're literally just going to make a loop. Put that on your hook, get hold of all this just between your thumb and your fingers, and you're going to pull it through, but you want to make sure that when you come through the other side, it's the red that comes through. Just give them a tug down, and then we're going to chain 1. Let me just grab me right bit. So I've now got my red yarn as my working yarn. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Okay, so we're ready for our first row of red. So where our chain is coming out of, this very first stitch is where we're going to put our first double crochet. So make your first stitch, put your stitch marker back in, and carry on down the row, and we are going to do 6 rows of red before we change to black for his belt. So I will meet you when you have a couple of stitches left on your last row of red, and then we're going to change to black, just in exactly the same way. So I'm here, we have got 2 stitches left for my red, so I'll just put my second to last one in there, and then my last stitch is going in that hole there. So again, put your hook in, only do it to that point, and then get your black. So again, leave a tail, just literally hook it over, just grab hold of everything, and you want to make sure that yarn that comes through is your black one. Just grab hold of it with your fingers, get your working tension going, chain black and turn around. Okie dokie. So we're doing 1 row of black. So again, I will meet you back at this end where we're putting our back to red. So again, first stitch in that hole that directly below. Put your stitch marker back in, and we just want 1 row of black. So I'm at the end, I've got 2 stitches left. I'm just going to snip my red yarn from before. So again, leave a tail, weave it in, snip that off, catch it before it falls on the floor. I've got 2 more black, so in the second to last. And now we're going to change colour in this one. So again, put your hook in, only take it to the halfway stage of the stitch. So you've got 2 loops on your hook. Grab your red, leave a tail, hook it over and pull through with your red. Get your tension back going, chain 1, turn, and off we go again. So you want 6 more rows of red, change again to white, 2 more rows of white, and I will meet you back when you've got your last couple of stitches on your white row. So we want 6 rows of red, 2 rows of white, and then we're nearly done. So I'm at the end of my white row. I've got 2 stitches left. I'm just going to put that one in there, and that's my last one. So now you're going to leave a tail again, snip the yarn, put your hook back in and pull through just to fasten off. Okay, so there we have him complete. So choose which side you think looks the nicest, and so whichever side is going to be the front and which side is going to be behind. It's entirely up to you. Choose which side you think the prettiest, and then we're going to weave in our ends and sew him up. So I've decided this is going to be the back of him. So first of all, we are going to weave in our ends. So I'm going to choose this white one here, and I get my yarn threader, put that through there, put the white on there, and literally just pull through. And then weave in your ends. You just want to go back and forwards through a couple of times just to secure them in. So it's going to just go in there. Try not to go all the way through, so you don't want to go through to the front. So pick a few stitches. Maybe a bit on the other side. I would keep this on the white, seeing as we're actually at the white. Go back a few. Just in and out, up and down, till you think, oh yeah, that's secure. So when you're done, if you give the yarn a tug and then snip, then when you let go, your end should spring back in. So you want to do that for the ones, all the ones on this side, and then we're going to use a couple of the ones on this side to actually sew him up with. So weave all the ends in on this side. Okay, so I've got a couple of tails left, so I'm just going to use these to actually stitch him up with. If you don't quite have a long enough one, then just attach a bit of yarn and to fasten him up, but it saves a job. You might as well use these. So this is my wrong side, so I want that on the inside. So right sides together, and I'm going to stitch him together. So you can use any stitching up method you like. Use your mattress stitch, or literally just go in from one side to the other, because this is going to be on the back, so nobody's really going to see this. So I'm just going to go in there, come through that one. Sometimes easier as well if you only pick one V up rather than both. just makes it a little less bulky. Right, so I'm going to have to weave those bits in. But I might as well have used it to start with. And then pick my red up. These are the best things ever, these needle threaders. Okay, so just line him up. And I am just going to go through one side, through to the other side. So this is going to be on the back, so don't worry if it's not desperately neat. Try maybe just pick one of your V's, and then it's not quite as bulky. We are literally just sewing him up, so I'll meet you back at the bottom. Don't worry about that little white bit, because again, it's as long as you pull it tight enough, it won't show that you've done it with red. But if you wanted to attach some white just for that last little bit, you could do. Okay, so he's all stitched up, and that's the back. So just turn him round to the front, so you've got the back in the middle of the back, if that makes sense. You're stitching up in the middle of the back, and so we're going to attach our yellow or gold yarn here on the wrong side, so then we can pull it through to the front to make his buckle. So get your gold or yellow, whatever you're using, on your needle. So then I've got my row of stitching in the middle, and I'm going to attach it here. This is the wrong side. So just pick a stitch, literally just pull it through. I would grab hold there. You can go back through the same one and then just through it, just to knot it in place. And then we're going to flip him round and come through there. So I'm just going to put that through, and then I'm just going to turn him round. So now we just want to sew a square for his belt buckle. So I'm on the top of the black. I'm going to go down. Make sure you only go in the middle. You don't sew all the way through to the back, or else you won't be able to get your knife and fork in. I'm going to do a couple across there. Maybe that one, I think. Maybe that one. Just need to eyeball that bit. Back down that hole that we came up through. Go up. Oh, maybe we'll go up that one. Down there. And back up that one. And back down there. And that's his belt buckle. Again, turn it back the other way and just weave your ends in, fasten it off. Give it a snip. And turn him back through. And there we have him all ready with his knife and fork and napkin. Thanks very much for watching. Can't wait to see them all.